Welcome to Inside New York. We are delighted to have on today's program our co-host, Richard Wesley, to continue our discussion of the critical state of Black theater. Today's guest is a veteran theater producer who's celebrating his 50th anniversary of his landmark theater, the Black Spectrum Theater. We welcome Carl Clay to Inside New York. Long overdue, Carl, as we were saying. We've been wanting to have you on for many years. You kind of run your own city out there in Queens.
Well, we try to do our best out there. But thank you for inviting me, and hello to Richard Wesley, one of my writing heroes there. And so thank you.
We've got two heroes, and we really appreciate having you on. And as I told Richard, when I saw your post right on the tail, I guess you could say, of George Floyd's murder, you were the first artist that I saw a post from stating that we need to act, specifically to vote. You have a 10-point plan, and that's what's needed. So I wanted to first introduce the fact that you are so, in the forefront with your activism surrounding these crises that we're all facing at this time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that 10-point plan and why you felt compelled to start, this post.
Well, I can say this, that, the murder of George Floyd was, it really got to me because, back in 1999 and in 2000, I did a film called Urban Encounters: What to Do If You Get Stopped by the Police. And that film was done as a reaction to a young man in Southeast Queens who a police officer, actually was a federal officer, who actually shot him because what he thought was a gun turned out to be a candy wrapper. There was a woman who, a parent in the community, who said, all I want to do is make sure my child gets home safely at the end of the day. And so I use that as a kind of thread to create a film. Fast forward to the year 2020, I thought that I had, I didn't think I would be dealing with the issue of police departments again for a while. I remembered something that R.C. Davis said to a group of us one time, and I said, this is fitting. And, he was saying, it's never about the man, it's about the plan. Subsequently, we set up a meeting, a webinar. What do we want a 21st century police force to look like? So that whole idea of voting and everything else, for me, was more from a community politic piece, because they're the ones who would, control the purse strings in our own communities. And, unfortunately, a lot of times, sometimes politicians spend more money outside of their community than inside their community. So yeah. Plus that, my reading a lot about the Free Southern Theater in the South and the work that they used to do, and going out and getting people to vote. I was always inspired by that. And I thought that was good, noble work to be involved in, to move the community forward and stuff. So that would be my thing about voting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you covered a lot of this in your book, and I hope at some point people will go and read it, because it's so much more detailed there. How you did that it was like a blueprint for how you build institutions within a community, and how you maintained and expand connections to the community, so that the institution itself is growing as the community grows.
We're going to have to take a break.